This podcast is to compare and contrast my 4 music magazine mood boards. The 4 different genres that I have used are classical, rock, pop and country. I'm going to study how these magazine genres appeal to their target audience using typeface, colour scheme, picture to text ratio and the cover artists, as well as some other features. The typeface. Classical music, unlike the other 3 genres, uses a serif font. The flicks on the end give it a sophisticated and educated feel, and also more formal. This appeals to the target audience of an older generation, those who typically listen to classical music. However, rock music is more informal, using a sans serif font, as is pop and country music. However, within the rock music genre, different magazines are aimed at different audiences, therefore use different typefaces. For example, Kerrang uses a broken, shattered font for its masthead, suggesting a rebellious and more edgy look, aimed at a younger target audience. This is different to classic rock, which uses a rounded, more composed font, suggesting less rebellion and more seriousness. This is aimed at an older audience. Pop music uses a sans serif font and simple language. The large typeface that is rounded and often curled suggests that it's aimed at a younger target audience of predominantly females. Country music also uses the sans serif font. It is informal and more relaxed, with a conversational tone. Its target audience is middle-aged, who are reading for enjoyment. The colour schemes of the 4 mood boards differs. Classical music uses lots of simple blocked colours, such as white, black and grey, with a simplistic finish. This makes it appeal more sophisticated than classic, suggesting that the target audience is passive and stick to what they know rather than trying something new. Rock music uses a lot of dark colours, predominantly black and grey, with occasional bits of red. Kerrang, however, uses flashes of bright yellow and green, engaging with their target audience who are looking for something new and exciting, whereas classic rock uses more safe colours, such as red and white. It's like for their older audience looking for familiarity. This contrasts hugely to pop music, which uses a lot of bright and feminine colours, such as pink and yellow, and blue and purple, targeting a younger audience of girls. The text is very bright coloured, and there is little black, apart from outlining the huge amounts of pink. Country music uses very desert colours, such as yellow and brown and beige. This is connoting a country and rural lifestyle. The colours are soft and pastels. This is very stereotypical of the country, and gives the magazine a more soft and finished feel. The picture-to-text ratio. Classical music magazines are often very text-heavy, as they are aimed at an older, more educated audience who are seeking to learn more. This differs greatly to pop music, who has a huge amount of pictures and very colloquial and simple language, as their target audience is much younger. Rock music has kind of a mixture of text and images. In Kerrang there are more images, whereas in classic rock there's more text. This is due to the difference in audience, as older fans want detailed knowledge of bands and artists, whereas younger audiences still want information, but maybe not as detailed. Country music is often quite text-heavy, but is very informal and easy to read, as it's aimed at a middle-aged audience who still want to learn more, but maybe not as heavy as those wanting to learn about classical music. The cover artist feature tells us a lot about the magazines. For classical music, there is a mixture of male and female artists, middle-aged to old, and they also often feature deceased composers such as Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, etc. Rock music has a predominantly male artist on the cover, whereas there are younger artists such as Yumi at Six, Green Day, etc. Whereas classic rock has kind of old-school, more traditional bands such as the Rolling Stones, Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin. In pop music, there is a lot of female artists and boy bands. They're very young artists and often like good-looking and fun. This is because it's aimed at a younger target audience of females who are looking to see the latest of their favourite boy bands and artists. In country music, there's a real mixture of male and female, although I've noticed that the males are often older, whereas the females are younger. Other features in the magazines are, for classical music, the festivals are often European, such as Italy or France, such as the Festival dei Maggio Musicale Florentino from Italy, and La Motte Classical Music Festival. For rock music, the band's features often have their own logos and identity, which makes them easily pointed out and easy to spot on the covers. Whereas pop music, they have a lot of freebies and focusing on celebrities and celebrity gossip rather than the actual music. It seems to focus more on the artist rather than their art. For country music, there's often a rural setting, and there's a great amount of cowboy hats and guitars, which is very stereotypical of the genre and makes it easy to identify. So, to finish, the main thing I've noticed is classical music is often more sophisticated and aimed at an older audience, whereas pop is quite the opposite, very simple, aimed at a younger audience of those who are looking to not really learn anything, but just kind of just want something easy to read. Rock music is often it's a mixture because of the vastness of the genre. Whereas country music is more relaxed, it's more informal, aimed at some readers who just want to read for enjoyment. So this has been my podcast.